You are now tuned in to Deserts TV, the network that makes content that will change your life.
We're good? Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the best episode yet.
The best episode? Well, now we didn't click play, so Steve, you said you want to make this the best episode yet?
Absolutely.
Well,
You know it started off great when I ate this cupcake, man.
What kind of cupcake
Desserts
do you
red
eat
velvet
over there,
cupcake.
Steve?
You know what they say. One slice will change your life.
One slice will change your life. Let's get the intro queued up. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. It is Realest State of Mind. And my name is D'Artagnan Connor, and next to me is the great
Stephan Muccular.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, Realest State of Mind. First things first, it feels great to be back. It feels great to be on episode 4 already, man. It feels like it was just yesterday we were starting, man.
Man, that's crazy. Time flies.
Time flies, man. That it does.
Enjoying yourself.
That it does. Well, Steve, how are you feeling?
Man, this week has been smooth. Really enjoyed the week at work. I actually just started going back into the office.
Okay, talk to us about it. So have you been working, you've been working from home so far?
Yeah, so started working from home, got a laptop, I'm working from home, had to get a printer, all that good stuff.
Got you.
Fast forward to now, we started phase 1 of actually going back into the office.
Okay.
And so I think our office it's only 25%, get to go back in. Obviously we have to social distance, all that good stuff. But that's only about 10 people, so only like maybe 2-3 of us show up to the office every day. I only see 2 or 3 of them.
Do you are you glad to be going back to the office, or were you enjoying that at home feel, doing it on your own pace?
Definitely enjoying the at home. Like, I would get a little lazy. And,
Okay, be honest with the people. Okay.
Or do chores or stuff. You know what I mean? Like other things to do. I'd be doing my dishes, or I'd be, sweeping and stuff like that. But
of course.
When you're at home, there's other things that you could be doing, productive wise, than just sitting at your kind of desk or whatever.
For
sure. But once I got back into the office, things started to heat up, and I got a lot more tasks. So I'm really like running around every single day.
Got you.
Yeah, enough about me, man. What about you? How you feeling?
So yeah, honestly, I'm doing. I'm feeling pretty good again. Another solid week now. I feel like I'm starting to get into the swing of things with my real estate stuff. And I'm excited. Like you were saying, you were going through your first week in the office. This was kind of like my first real week at it. I officially am with my broker, just attached to Twin Oaks Brokerage out in Benicia.
Nice. How did that actually come about, if you don't mind me asking?
Great question. It actually came about because I got back in contact with one of my friends that's a real estate agent. And I had posted something, and he had ended up asking me, did I end up passing my test? And me and him chatted it up. I ended up meeting up with him like maybe a day or so later, and we had a great conversation. He was sharing with me how his brother had just recently bought out the brokerage, and they're trying to be they're trying to get new agents, they're trying to grow, they're trying to hustle, honestly. And it seemed like a good relationship because as a new agent you have to get with a brokerage. So I felt like attaching myself working with him, somebody that we knew, we went to high school with, could be good for me because that personable feel, as well as somebody I have no problem with communicating with as I'm trying to learn. Because in this first few weeks, months, years, whatever, it's all about soaking up as much game as I can get to be a successful agent, honestly. So I'm optimistic and I'm feeling good, man. I am.
That's good to hear. That's really good to hear.
Thank you. So let's, how's your 2020 been though, Steve? So you talk about this job. Did you have this job this whole year, or when did you get this job?
Yeah, man. So it started off, 2020 was kind of rocky. I was still with Chick-fil-A. So
Okay.
I graduated from my 4 years at Loyola Marymount. During that time, my fourth year, my last year, my senior year, I was working at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And then right as I was graduating,
how'd you like that?
It was fine. It was good. I learned a lot of customer service skills, and I became a manager.
Word.
So I decided to stay there for a bit, just help me pay my rent until I found a job in my field. And
that's good. Gotta go for it.
through networking, we talked about networking.
I feel like you made some great connections there,
but
didn't you?
it was the connections that actually got me this job that I have today. And honestly, my whole purpose for working at Chick-fil-A, I made a goal to meet as many people as possible and talk to as many people as I could.
That's really good.
Just sharing my story, telling them what I'm about, and seeing if they, if there's any resources or if I can help them and if they can help me. And I ended up finding my mentor there. Just I was at the drive-through talking
He
to
came through as a customer.
Came through as a customer.
That's
just asked him
crazy.
what he did for a living. He said he wanted to be he was a financial advisor. I was like, well, I want to be a financial advisor. And then from there, he became my mentor. Got his contact information. He became my mentor. And
That is fantastic.
he was the one who hooked me up with the job that I have today. So it's been a long time coming, but I've worked hard to get to where I'm at.
That you have.
So
That's very interesting. So it sounds like your lack of fear when communicating with strangers kind of was led to you to have this opportunity that you have today, correct?
yeah, absolutely.
What have you always kind of had that ability to just walk up on somebody and say, "Oh, my name is Stephan. I do XYZ. I want to do this. Can I get to know you?" Have you always had that ability, or at what point do you feel like you started to bring that out?
Definitely didn't always have it. I was kind of nervous a lot about it, but what helped me was thinking about how successful I could be.
Okay.
And how, we are put on this earth to help each other.
Oh, you trying to pod?
Yeah, I'm proud today.
Oh, okay. Talk to him, man.
So I honestly feel that, we're on this earth to help each other out.
Very
and
true.
just like I want to help people, there's people who's out there who wants to help me. So, and my grandfather always told me, "Closed mouths don't get fed." So
Facts. You gonna keep hearing that saying.
I'm for sure a firm believer in letting people know your dreams, your aspirations, your goals to a certain extent, right? You don't want to go too far with it, but you definitely want to let some people know, because those people can open doors for you.
Very true.
We
And
can't
you not
really
being
tell
scared.
ourselves. Yeah.
And you not being scared to put yourself out there. That's a big. I feel like that's honestly lesson of the day.
There you go.
Not being scared to put yourself out there. Steve's lesson of the day.
There you go.
I need an air horn for that one, Steve. That's game.
Yeah, man. But there was a lot of struggles throughout this 2020 journey. There was a moment in time where I didn't have a job.
Okay, talk to us. So let's go. Let's rewind real quick. It's December 2019. We're going into 2020. Where were you at that point? Are you working at Chick-fil-A?
So I was working at Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
and at that time I had like a soft offer from a company to become a financial advisor there.
Okay.
And this was a firm in Santa Monica. And what happened was I had a bunch of exams that I was going to take to get my
we should
licensing.
talk about that.
And I ended up taking some of those exams, and I passed up to a certain point, and then I failed one of them. And then once I went back to the company, I quit Chick-fil-A. Once I went back to the company, they were like, we actually don't have any room for you right now.
Dang, okay.
So then I got a job with another firm, another financial advising firm, but it was more so based off of commissions, and I feel like it didn't really have the customer more in line. So once I got
you felt like it was. So you felt like that job was more about meeting your quota over helping people.
Not necessarily that. You're definitely helping people, regardless. But I'm not trying to get my numbers up right now. I'm not trying to get
Got you. You're trying to learn.
I'm just trying to learn.
Got you.
So the other opportunity that I had on the table from my mentor was a little bit better, and a little bit more promising. So I went with that one instead. And that way I can really learn the business, get some experience before I become a financial advisor. Back office things.
Okay, so your goal is to become, sorry to cut you off. Yeah. Your goal is to become a financial advisor. At the end of the day,
yes.
But right now you decided to take a role where you can learn right under a financial advisor?
Right under a financial advisor, gain that experience, and have some years under my belt before I actually get into the field.
Got it. Okay.
As a financial advisor.
Got it. That's really good. That sounds like a good step to take to really to not only just take the lessons you learned from inside the classroom, but now give you some real world experience, get to learn, get to grow, get to understand it, to where by the time it's your turn to have people's money in your hands, you're ready to go for it, huh?
Exactly.
Word, that's amazing. So that process, well actually, you touched on you had to take a series of tests. To become a financial advisor out of high school, out of college, my bad. Out of college, you got a degree in finance, right? What are the steps that you have to take now to become a financial advisor? Do you get to just go straight from, okay, now I graduated with this finance degree, let me go work with y'all? Or are there other requirements along the way?
Yeah, so there's different types of, let's say, financial advisors.
Break them down. How many groups are there?
There's a couple different ones.
Like 2, 3?
Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
Okay.
So you can be like a financial wellness coach.
Okay.
Which some people may say that they're a financial advisor, or you can be, somebody who's unregistered, telling other people kind of what to do. Same thing. It's kind of like a coach as well. There's like 2 different ones.
Got you.
And then the one that I was going down is more of the traditional route, where you actually get to buy and sell stock for clients.
Okay.
And that one you have to be registered. Being registered means that you have to take exams to.
Got you. And that one was the one that was more appealing for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you go on to the one that now you have to take these series of tests. How many different tests do you have to take?
Right now, every firm differs, but the main test is the Series 7.
Okay.
And the Series 66.
Okay, so those are the 2 main ones. You said the Series 7 and the Series 66?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's a prerequisite for the 7. So there's one extra test on that.
Okay.
So there's technically 3 tests, and then a lot of firms want you to get your California life accident and health, and that ensures that you can sell like insurance.
Okay, got you. So, which ones did you take so far?
The California life accident and health.
Oh, okay. So
the prerequisite for the 7, which is called the SIE.
Oh, okay.
The 7, and the 7 is the one that I'm currently trying to get right now.
Got you, and then now you'll have everything.
I'll have the 7, and then I need the 66.
Oh, so you still need to take the 7 and the 66.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I do have 2 under my belt right now.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you. Are there is there an order you have to go in?
Just with the 7, you have to take the prerequisite.
Got you, but you could do the 66 before the 7, yes. Potentially?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yes. And so when you take those tests, you do have to be, for the 7 and 66, you do have to be sponsored. So you have to attach yourself to a brokerage. Got
you. Okay, so now this is a big difference between real estate and the financial sector. So you're telling me you can't just decide this is what you want to do and go do it. You have to.
If you're doing this specific track, the other ones you don't have to.
Okay, but I'm saying your specific one where you have to take the test and everything, you have to make sure you already have a brokerage that you can work with already, and they have to sponsor you to go take the test.
Correct.
Got you. On this end with the real estate stuff, it was interesting because you're able to do everything yourself, the whole process, but you're not actually an active agent until you attach yourself to a brokerage, because you're the agent of the broker, essentially. That's kind of how this was.
Right.
Thank you. But yeah, that's good. So you ended up getting this job around what time this year?
What was it, July?
Right around July?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So right around the midway point during the summer, things kind of started to make that shift for you.
Shift. And
That's
it was
good.
weird because during quarantine,
Uh-huh.
I kind of had a soft offer, right? They said they were gonna hire me. I was in with this other company just to, just for a minute because I needed money to pay for rent and stuff like that.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Man.
But I was kind of waiting for them to just hire me, if that makes sense.
This company.
Yeah, AmeriParts.
Got you.
I was waiting for them to hire me, and we ended up getting cleared to bring me up on board, and it worked out smooth.
That's smooth. So you had been pretty much working from home since July till beginning of October?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So a few months, and then now picking up the pace. And how have you been liking it since you've been there? Has it been what you were kind of expecting?
Yeah, a whole lot of just helping people. Literally, my job is to help the clients. So it's really nice.
Take us through what an average day is for you.
Man, so I have 3 sets of tasks. Service tasks, dealing with the specific clients. There's obviously like the picking up the phone and stuff like that. Sending out documents, those type of things. And then also like advisory tasks.
Okay.
So, helping people, set up their account or putting in trades or those type of things. Definitely not giving any advice yet.
Okay, got you.
But I meet with the advisor, 2 or 3 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and he, tells me the different tasks and things I need to handle. But yeah.
Word. That's real smooth, man. Round of applause for Steve, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you about you. Just about to ask you about your 2020. How's that going?
Wow. Well, if we do it on the same way, if we go back to December, January, December, I was going through a really rough time. Life was rough, family was rough, personal life. The OG shorty started switching up on me. It was a multitude of things around that time, honestly. And I wanted to start the daycare like we talked about. I was fired up in December, and December was like I was holding on to what I really wanted to accomplish. But then we fast forward into January, things didn't go as planned. Things were cool in January still, actually. Things were cool. I wasn't in a good space mentally, a really bad space mentally, but I was still pushing forward, pushing through, Chill's trying to fight, and I just kind of really wanted to fast forward between January to May, pretty much, because I was expecting to graduate from Dominguez Hills in spring 2020. That was the plan. Now, mind you, back in the fall, that semester, my stats teacher, she failed me. Oh, and that devastated me. I was in tutoring every day, hours, really working hard, and it just did not work out. And I needed that class to be able to graduate. I had 6 classes that semester, 6 more in the spring, and that was kind of like the iceberg that kind of sent things on the path they kind of went on. But January, I'm still like, no, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to finish. I'm going to walk the stage. I don't really care. I'm going to finesse my way through. It doesn't matter. We get to end of January. I head back out to LA, Carson area. No, I actually was living in Long Beach at the time. Head back to my spot in Long Beach. Was there a little bit, was in my classes, and I wasn't in the right space, man. Things was feeling off, things were feeling weird. And like I said, I just wanted to fast forward that time, but I was trying to be patient, and I was trying to be understanding with myself. I was trying to do a lot of things when I really just needed to take some time and step back, really.
Yeah.
But it didn't hit me just yet. Fast forward to February, we're like, I think by the 20th of February, so I may have been out there for 30 days. From January, maybe the end of January to the middle of, like, last week or so of February. And I had a really extreme weekend. Was that weekdays or weekend? You remember?
That was a week.
It was the whole week that led into another
maybe a week and a half. It was 2 weeks, but
it might have been a week and a half, 2 week time frame where, in hindsight, I was having a mental breakdown. In that moment in time, didn't necessarily really know what was going on.
Yeah.
I just was not right at that moment, and shout out to Steve being out here, honestly, because I don't even know if I'd still be here to pod with y'all right now. If Steve wasn't there to have my back, man.
I always got your back.
Nah, no cap, man.
Like what?
Bra strap.
Could
have said anything, but you could have just not said that to me. But you gave it aloud, so I had to go around. Hey, man. But yeah, really rough 2 week time frame. Let's just say that. Where I can't, and then I decided we ended up driving home. And in that moment in time, I was just coming home for the weekend because I remember I was juiced because I finally made the business plan. You remember? We were trying to turn daycare into a nonprofit at the time. So we were running around trying to understand what is a nonprofit. And I was getting so wrapped up into it to where that's all I was focusing on every day, all night, couldn't sleep, just like at it. And when I finally felt like we got the business plan, I got so juiced, I said, oh, I gotta go home. I gotta tell everybody. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. No, I was just like, ah. And Steve, being the great friend he is, was just like, okay, you wanna go home this weekend? you wanna make that happen? And I was like, okay. And we went. And in that moment, we were gonna just be there for maybe like it was a Thursday or a Friday, and was for sure planning to come back on Monday at the latest, because I had class. But got home that night, and I guess how I was acting, I scared a lot of people. To where I guess how I was coming off versus how I thought I was coming off was not translating. And to sum it all up, it just was a lot that now we can claim as a mental breakdown. And the best decision that came out of that was maybe I should just take some time off from school, come back home, and just focus on my mental health, man. And that's February 20th, 21st, something like that. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is, man. And in that moment, I still was so stubborn and felt like I still had a point to prove, to where I may have said I was coming home, but then my first reaction was like, okay, well now I'm gonna get back with desserts. Now I'm gonna make this shuttle business service. Now we're gonna do something else, and we're gonna do all these things, and I'm gonna prove a point, and I'm gonna get going. And I was trying to act like I was doing right, and maybe a week or so later, Nerona starts getting bad. A week or so after that, we're on lockdown. And then I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
As well as like all the horrific things we've been seeing going on towards black people as well. It's just like the year just continued.
Black women too.
Literally, man. It just continued
Black
to be
LGBTQ members,
man, everybody. It's just been a compound interest of like, excuse my French, but some painful shit, man. And just been trying to figure out how to digest it, navigate with it, and move on. Like in the last episode, we hinted on like mental health. I started paying a lot of attention to my mental health since maybe 2018, which has been really great for me. I realized, like I said previously, about anxiety, Started speaking with like a therapist at school, like, and that when I wasn't enjoying my first like year at Dominguez Hills, my highlight of every week was on Tuesday when I went to see my boy.
Wow.
Oh man, I used to be so juiced. I said, yo,
Man, that makes me happy to hear that, though.
honestly, man, I think working on our mental health is so important, and expressing ourselves, because I'm a very expressive person, but I hold a lot in. And being able to get those releases is everything, because we need that, man. We're only human.
We are only
Honestly, man. So, but in that moment, I was at home. I wasn't doing therapy no more. I wasn't doing anything. I'm just in my bed, and I'm in a pretty dark space, if we're gonna be honest. For a long time, I honestly felt mute, if we're gonna be honest. Like, I felt like I didn't have anything to say, didn't want to say anything, didn't have anything to do, didn't want to do anything. There was times where I felt like I didn't know how to feel. I just was like, yo, another day. In my room at home, I'm in like the garage, to where it's kind of like my little dungeon, and it's great for the space, it's great for the isolation, it's great for the whatever, but like in that garage, it's really dark. So if you're in a dark space and you're in there, it does not help. No natural sunlight, no nothing, and it can really help you sit in that bad funk you're in, you know what I mean? And it took me a long time to try to find my way out of there. Steve would be talking to me like, yo, you good? You gotta share my story. What fucking story? Excuse my French. But like, what do I got to give? And that's the space I was really in, and I didn't like it at all. And I felt like, for a little while, I felt like I kept thinking like, dang, I want to get back to like the old D. And my sister was like, well, you can't think about it like the old D. You got to think about who this new D is, who this new WAP is, who this new D'Artagnan is. Like, you can't get so held up on like that past versions of ourselves. Like, we have to find a way to grasp where we are and try to move forward regardless of how hard it is. And I sat with that a while, and honestly, the best thing I ended up doing was taking those real estate classes while I was in the bed. I ain't had nothing else to do. I was like, I might as well do it right here. And even in that moment in time, my biggest goal when I got back home and I couldn't do anything, I said, well, I need to establish my independence. I'm very stubborn. I'm very aggressive. And I speak with a lot of conviction when I want something, right? So like, I'm like, I need to establish my independence. I want to do it for myself, whatever. Like, I'm getting too old. Like, I need to start making my money. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting to that point. And as one to be a lifelong entrepreneur, everybody keeps saying, well, you might need to get a job. You might need to do this. So like, you got to weigh your options. And it's like, I'm sick of hearing that on one end, but then it's like, I am getting older. And it's like, while I'm not asking nobody for nothing per se, I do need to be prepared for what's to come. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of made me start saying, okay, well, this could potentially be that job-esque thing for me.
Real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While doing other things. So I was like, and at first I was kind of like, maybe this could just get some people off my back. And maybe they weren't on my back like I thought. It may have really just been that monkey that was really just me on my back. You know what I mean? But that's kind of what kind of got me going and fading into it, thinking like, maybe let me give this a try, let me see how it feels. And that kind of was my 2020, and I only got to the space where I can now not necessarily feel like I was kind of describing until like, what, September?
Yeah, what got you out of that though?
I took my first test July 22nd, right? Mm-hmm. And I went up there and I had to go to SAC and take it, right? So I go out to SAC, I go to take the test, and that day, well, because beforehand I thought I was going to be able to take the test at home. So between all of us in the room and the audience, I thought I was going to be able to finesse a little bit.
For sure thought he was going
I for sure thought I was going to be able to
happen.
He said, "So have you been studying? Have you been da-da-da-da?" I'm like, dude, I got it. I'm prepared. I promise you. And I'm like, but then I realized, oh no, I gotta go take it. So now I'm like, oh wait a second, let me get my stuff together. And I go out to SAC, I go to take it, and and when I didn't pass, well, the day of the first one, right, just in general, I really started thinking, like, I went from thinking like, oh, okay, I'm taking my test, to like, if I pass this today, I said, that might be kind of nuts. Then I started running the numbers of what commissions could look like again. It's all good. I started running the numbers of what commissions will look like again, and that got me more excited too. And it was just everything about it to where I said, let me go take this test. Then by the time I didn't pass it, right, come back home, the family was ready to be turned up. They was ready to be turned up. And I didn't pass, and they was looking, they could see it in my face. It was like, oh, you okay? I'm like, I'm good. Like, I promise you, I'm okay. I promise you. Like, I'm fine. No, but like, are you okay? And I'm like, nah, like, I'm good. Well, you know, you just gotta take it again, and it's gonna be, I'm like, I was already gonna go take it again. But like, that's that love, you know what I mean? But in that moment, it got me thinking like, oh, nah, I need to go handle my business real quick, because this might be the parlay play we've been looking for. And that just got me fired up for the second test, to where I was like, oh, I'm ready to go take it as soon as possible. I got on the phone with Steve, we strategized, and it was mainly about, now you know the subjects, and conquer each subject. Spend that extra time studying. Like, no, like, you gotta put some effort in.
Yeah, especially if this is gonna be, you know, what you want out of life. You want to do this. You gotta know your stuff.
Literally. So that's when I got that new app. Get over there, King. That's when I got the new app, that Pocket Prep app. Still not an ad. Weeks later, but
you wish.
But you know, wishes do come true, so we are optimistic here. But it's still, what was I saying? It is what it is, man. Let's move on. Why now?
Man, why not? Why not, honestly?
Even better, man. The timing just came together. Oh, I think you were kind of asking me, like, what changed, like, my mood, right?
Oh yeah, what changed in you?
Yeah, I went and
talk to the people, all of this stuff.
I literally, by the time I was so juiced to go back and take it again, by the time I had passed it, I was turned up.
Like you should.
Oh yeah, no. Yo, I was like, oh, this is about to be cool.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
Watch for that one.
In the moment in time, how I was convincing my my little depressed self, most of the year during the time, I was like, yeah, I may not have been able to get the people with me walk across the stage, but you know, now look at this. I got my real estate license. Just when you think I don't do this, I'm gonna go and do that. Black excellence. But that's honestly God, man. It's like, in that moment, I was so down and out, like, and he just kept me moving, man. Even when I thought I was still, he kept me moving. But like, when they talk about, like, sometimes you need to slow down to speed up, there's so much, like, there's a lot to that. I was about to. There's a lot to that saying. That honestly, man. But yeah, I got to this point where, by the time it was time to go, it just felt right, man. After I had passed the test, I got so fired up. I went and got my embroidery machine. I went and got my heat press. I got serious about making the beignets and the peach cobbler, and I wanted to actually try banana pudding as well. I said, nah, we're gonna add these new things to the menu. I'm gonna get my merch back right, And
shout out to desserts, man.
Shout out to
Hey,
desserts.
show them the cupcake, dog. Show them the cupcake.
Yo, we got a cupcake right here.
Red velvet.
Red velvet.
Flames.
You know how we do. Zoom in.
The zone.
It's right here. We on the live. Yo, from the Bay, we brought it to LA. You can get it any given day. Stop playing with us.
Kind of way.
Steve, stop playing with us, man.
Party.
If we're gonna do it, we gotta do it, man.
So let me ask you a question.
Please do.
Why now for you, bro? Why 2020?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was prophesizing a year ago talking about how we stepping into the roaring 20s and how this was gonna be a big time for us, man. I saw some big things. I thought I was seeing visions last year, man, about the future that we all can have. And the way 2020 went, I got so embarrassed to even, like, when I say I didn't feel like I had anything to give anymore, like, I felt like, yo, at this point, maybe it was for sure me, of course, but I felt like all my credibility went out the window at that point. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, this guy is all talk, because that's another thing. I don't like myself being all talk with no action, and I felt like I had too many years going on without enough action with desserts now. We was fired up from 15, 16, 17, 18, but 19, into 18, 19 wasn't going as planned. And mind you, I was, of course, part
of that was, you being out here. And that
literally, a lot of that was me being a student, but I was so hard on myself in that moment where it was like, you are a student, like, just finish school, like, that's what we want you to do right now. That's what you got to do. But I would be so stubborn and quick to be like, no, I want to do both, or I want to just say, forget that. But I couldn't say forget that, you know what I mean? Right. And that's kind of what put us in that spot. But I felt like now last year when I was thinking about doing all of this, I had just started seeing the optics work out in our favor, man. We talk big about networking and we talk about opportunities and sharing them with everybody. And I just started to see between like our core friend group and as we're becoming adults and like our network within each other, how strong it was becoming, as well as how strong our network individually is as well. And then I was thinking about like if we put that together, what we can do and what we can achieve in the next 20 years, it got me excited for what this next 10 years could be. You know what I mean? And
that's so facts.
And that's why I feel like now it's important to where a month ago I didn't even know if I'd be in the position to do half of what we're doing right now. But I thank God that it's right on time, man.
Yeah.
Timing is impeccable.
It's a long time coming for us, man, honestly.
Literally. And like we may be new to the people, but like now they really get to understand our story. One thing I love about podcasting too is I was reading, I was listening last year to Crushing It by Gary Vee. That's what actually got me really, between listening to the Joe Budden podcast and like reading that got me like fired up about podcasting, right? And what but yeah, I just feel like now is a great opportunity. I feel like now is time for us to optimize it, but honestly, we've talked a lot, and this is just the beginning. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much information, so many stories, so much game that we want to share to where we'll just continue. We'll continue with some more of these stories next time. I think it's time we should jump into our Spread the Sugar, Share the Wealth segment. We're going to need to get a song for this in a minute, or a drop.
Okay, so I'm going to start it off.
Okay, but wait. For those who don't know, our Spread the Sugar, Share the Wealth segment is where we highlight each week 2 Black-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, whatever. Shine light to them. And go ahead, Steve. What first business do you want to highlight?
Man, Marcelino, my best friend since, 2nd, 3rd grade, something like that. He works for a plumbing company, and he's actually one of the plumbers. It's a family-owned business. His uncle owns it, and what is that? Beast mode?
It for sure is something like it's for sure something like that. You ain't got it queued up yet? Okay, we'll for sure have it in the description. But either way you put it, we want to highlight Marcelino, the entrepreneur within himself. He does the plumbing. He'll come as an independent contractor and handle what you need. Whether you need new pipes, new this, new that. If it has something to do with a plumber, he will get it done. He's a go-getter.
Pretty good customer satisfaction too.
Oh yeah, you can actually find him on Yelp.
Yeah.
We will definitely have all the information in the descriptions for you.
And he's out of the Bay Area as well.
For sure, out of the Bay Area, all throughout the Bay Area. It's Northern California business. Where is my phone? That is crazy. Well, the business I want to highlight is Stu Marketing. Stu Marketing is actually the one of my longtime friends. We go way back from our days of playing baseball at Rodeo. That's that old school vibes. Shout out to all the Rodeo, Terra Hills, Richmond baseball family from over the years. But yeah, he now does music. He goes by Stu. He's out of the Bay Area, Richmond specifically, and he I noticed a few weeks ago that he was promoting his digital marketing company, and it was really dope because I've been seeing how he has been marketing his music so far, and he's done a really good job of helping like broaden his audience. And he's been telling me about how he's developing a strong fan base overseas. And if you get them overseas fans, you could go get bags over there if we was able to go tour still. But yeah, so me and him got to talking and everything, and I realized he now has his marketing company, Stu_marketing, STEW_MARKETING on Instagram. That will also be in the descriptions as well. And yeah, we're actually currently in the beginning of October doing our first advertisement for Homes by D'Artagnan. And we're doing our first campaign currently, and it's going well. In our first 6 days on Instagram, we gained over 100 followers. I made my first post that Monday, maybe like the 3rd or something like that of October, 3rd, 4th, whatever that Monday was. And we so far have almost 3,000 views on the video, and we have I think we gained over 100 followers so far in the first week, and that's just on Instagram. Twitter has been doing well. My personal Instagram has done well with the engagement, as well as Facebook too. But he does all types of advertisement. I think he does Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and he'll help artists promote their songs. So check him out, man. Check him out. What else you got for us, Steve?
The next one I have is Mimi's Magic.
Okay.
So she has a health and beauty kind of online store, where she sells everything with love. And the specific product I typically get is the sea moss.
Oh, okay.
Gel.
Okay.
So she grows it. It's all natural.
Super dope.
And it's been just helping me out with my overall, self-esteem type almost.
Okay, you feel like your morale?
My morale, yeah.
Okay.
So it's been helping me out a lot. And you can find her on Instagram at Mimi's Magic, with 2 C's at the end.
Got you.
Yeah, and she's out here in Los Angeles.
Word, okay.
Yeah.
All throughout California, ladies and gentlemen, we go from the Bay to LA.
What about your other business?
The other business I want to highlight is another one of my own. Black Excellence. It is Homes by D'Artagnan. As I told you this episode, I'm a new real estate agent, new realtor in California, and I want to market to 5 counties in the Bay Area to start. Solano County, Marin County, Contra Costa County, San Francisco County, and Alameda County. Those are the 5 counties I'm putting most of my initial energy into, but I'm the traveling realtor during these quarantine times.
Yeah.
I'm going
hashtag
quarantine realtor. If you're in San Diego and you want some assistance, I'm your guy. If you're in Sacramento and want some assistance, if you're even in Chico and anywhere in between, I'm gonna go there. And we're going to get in the car and we're going to make it happen. But Homes by D'Artagnan, and you can reach me, the realtor version of myself, through contacting D Connor at twinoaksre.com. That's how you can email me, or you can check out our website at dccaliforniarealtygroup.com. That will be our website that you can check us out on, and all socials will just be DCC Realty Group. That is DCC Realty Group. But that's how you can reach us. That's how you can contact me. And we'll have more information about Homes by D'Artagnan, and we'll highlight DC California Realty Group in a later episode and really show you kind of what is our main big move. I think I think one of our infinity stones, if you'd say so, Steve. Honestly. So with that being said, shout out to those businesses. Shout out to those entrepreneurs. We want to give a round of applause to them.
Shout out to our listeners.
Shout out to our listeners. You know,
stuck it out with us.
Yo, 4 episodes in, we wouldn't be us without you.